October 12th. This is our Board of County Commission meeting. I will call the meeting to order. And before we get started, as you see, everything is pinked out here. And people in the audience, this month is Pink Out Putnam and Pink Out for breast cancer awareness, and also for our First Lady, Casey DeSantis, who has come down with breast cancer. So this morning we're going to have our invocation by Steve Borkowski on the plaque of Church of God, and the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Paul Adamczak. Please rise if you're able to do so.
Good morning, Putnam County. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we come to you this time of year. We think of the harvest. And the harvest is the produce of good things. And we know from your word all good things come from you. And Lord, I pray that we can be about your business today and produce good things in your honor. Lord, I also want to take this moment and lift up those that are affected by breast cancer. Lord, the First Lady, DeSantis, Lord God, all those that we know or care about that are affected by this horrible disease. Lord, we know cancer is simply of the devil. And we pray for healing, your healing touch. And more than that, Lord, we're believing for the miracle of a cure. We give you thanks and praise today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Steve and Commissioner Adamczak. We appreciate it very much, and thank everyone for coming today. We're going to have a great meeting, and we look forward to that. Gentlemen, next on our agenda is the approval of the minutes as posted in your agenda. Chair will entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Proper motion by Commissioner Turner, proper second by Commissioner Rawls. Any further discussion on the motion at hand? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. We're going to deviate from our agenda just a little bit. Ms. Stella Brown, you would like to come up and speak to the board real quick? And we'd love to have you. Ms. Stella is in charge of our library system here in the county, something my wife is very passionate about. So,
good morning to each of you in your respective places. I just wanted to take a few minutes today to let you all know how much I appreciate all the phone calls, the cards, the text messages, the love that was shown during that time of my husband's bereavement. It meant a lot to me to know that I worked for people that are so concerned and so caring. My kids were overwhelmed when they saw the love and support from the entity that I worked for. And I just wanted to let you all know how much I appreciate everything that was done. And it goes without words that I don't even know what to say or how to say it. But the outpouring of the love, I greatly, and my family greatly appreciates it. And I want to say again, thank you to each and every one of you.
thank you, Ms. Stella. All right, we're going to deviate just a little bit more because we have a 9:05 certain. So our first presentation today, it's quite an honor for me to call this young man up. He's a very bright young man, Chance Clay, Outstanding Agriculturist of the Year by the Florida Association of County Agricultural Agents. Sharon and Wendy, Tommy, Sally Jane, you want to come up and be a part of this? Come on up. Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I am Wendy Miscellaneous. I am an agriculture agent for Putnam County. Just Putnam County, no more Flagler County. Used to be shared. But this morning we have a very special honor for Chance Clay. I am part of a statewide association for county agriculture agents. And across the entire state of Florida, every county nominates one producer to be the Agriculturalist of the Year. And this year, it's Chance Clay from Putnam County.
Yes.
The nominating team was myself, Prissy Fletcher, Christian Christensen and Tim Wilson, because Chance has been such a supporter of IFAS for so many years. He supports our 4-H kids with the Berry Project. We think Chance is stellar because he not only carries this, 7 generations of cattleman and rancher and just hardcore working mentality, but he carries with him an innovation and an inspired want to do new things. And he always takes risks, and he's always willing to try new things. And I think that he's going to be fantastically successful for the rest of his life because he's so young. What are you, 20, 27? 34, okay. He looks like a baby to me. He should have kept all that hair. Anyway, he has so much life ahead of him. He's been raised by a wonderful family, and he just has so much potential. He serves. He is the president of the Farm Bureau Association for Putnam and St. John's, and he serves as state director for the Florida Cattlemen's Association for 5 years. He served in that role. And so, yeah, and he went to the Texas, what was that? King's Ranch, yeah, in Texas. It was a cattlemanship program. He is diversified. I mean, he raises cow-calf operation. He does stalker cattle. He's got 20 acres of blueberries, which his dad helps out a lot with. But we love his diversification. And anyway, we just want to honor him today. Chance, here is your plaque. Thank you, Wendy. Yep. You want to say anything?
Wait a minute.
Thank you, Wendy. I just want to thank real quick Wendy and Prissy and Tim Wilson and our whole IFA staff. We have a great working relationship with them, and I appreciate everything they do, and they do a great job in our, Putnam, St. Johns County. So I want to thank them, and thank y'all for having me today, and appreciate it.
I'm not going to let you go until I say this story. His grandfather was a dear friend of mine, Mr. Tommy Clay Sr., and would come in my office and sit for hours sometimes talking about the family. And your name was always brought up, and how that the soil ran through your veins, he said. Although he wanted you to go off and see bigger and better things, he also knew you were rooted and planted at the Clay Farm. And that was something that brought him a great deal of pleasure. And when he talked about you, he just, the sparkle in his eye would just light up, and his voice would change, and it was just a pleasure to see that. I had a grandfather that spoke and invested in my life, and it's very important for that. So I don't want to make you sad today. I'm not saying that, but Mr. Tommy just loved you, and you know that, and he'd be awfully proud of you today standing here before us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we let you go, we're going to ask your family, we're going to take pictures, so come on down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come up this time, Clay, whether you want to or not.
That's right.
You got to get in the picture.
We're going to move you up just a little bit. We're going to all gather around. Come on, guys. Come on. Everybody here. Julianne's here. Mr. Suggs here. Get Sharon, or you need one more?
I need one more.
Okay.
Not the best photographer. Okay, smile. Thank you.
We're going to leave the farm. Tom. All right, we're going to recess our Board of County Commission meeting and go into our Port Authority meeting. And gentlemen, the first item of business is minutes of approval as listed in your packet.
I make the motion we approve the minutes as presented.
Proper motion by Commissioner Pickens,
Second.
proper second by Commissioner Turner. Further discussion on the minutes and the motion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, the ayes have it. Next item on our agenda is proposal for business park property adjacent to PRC. I'm assuming, Mr. Suggs, you have that.
Sure, give me just 1 second, Mr. Chairman. My pages are numbered differently. Well, as we see, while I try to find the right page here, we, as you know, we had an offer made from Mr. Tipton, I believe it was, earlier in the, about a month or so ago. The directive from the Board of County Commissioners was to go out and get an appraisal of the value of the land out at the port. Have done that, and the appraisal has come back. Mr. Tipton has made an offer to the Board of County Commission, or I'm sorry, to the Port Authority to purchase the property. I believe it is it $40,000 an acre. You can see it right there in your information there in your book. So the county administrator is just really looking for some type of direction from the Board of County Commissioners if we want to move forward with this offer of purchase of the 12.53 acres or 5.6 acres, something like that, out there at the Port Authority by Mr. Tipton to move forward. I think the appraisal, like I said, came in around 41 or 42,000. I think he's offering 40,000 at this point, so I just need some direction from the Board at the
Mr.
Port
Turner?
Authority.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Suggs. Mr. Turner, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer a motion that we accept the proposal.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Proper motion by Commissioner Turner, proper second by Commissioner Adamsack. Any further discussion on the motion?
Yeah, I have a question. It may have been in there, I may have missed it. If he doesn't develop this, is it just his to sell, or would there an option for us to buy this back if we had an interest?
We haven't discussed that matter, but if that's something that the board would like to discuss now, that'd be fine. But the offer was to purchase the property for a potential project that he has already invested some time and energy in. I don't know if anyone from the chamber would like to discuss. I don't know if they have any idea on this or not, but that is something certainly that the board could include in their motion if you'd like to do such.
What's the opinion of the board?
I think it's a great idea.
I think we've had that before. I think I just, to make sure that he does follow through with the project. Okay,
Okay,
Mr. Turner?
Mr. Turner, you have a,
I think the difference between this situation and the last one, while I totally agree that the protection should be talked about, I think the biggest difference is last time we were selling a piece of property that was appraised at $1.5 million for $750,000, $800,000, and we needed to make sure that economic development that we gave these people by selling them for less than the full appraised value was going to be utilized and not used to be turned around and sold. I think in this particular instance, though, the man's paying pretty much full boat appraisal on the property, whatever it appraised for. It was the low end of the appraisal, but it was still a full boat appraisal of the property. So I don't know that it's the same situation as when we enacted that before, but I'm certainly open for any discussion on the deal.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Adamsack, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'm going to go right between the two of them, and I'm going to say I agree with everything you just said, because since they're close to full appraisal, I think it doesn't matter as much, but I see no reason we couldn't put a first right of refusal, but not limit what they could sell it for, because we don't know what appraisal, it may go up to be worth $100,000 an acre or something, and they have the right once they buy it to make a profit. But I don't see limiting them. If we were selling it to them for the original offer of 25 grand, I think it was an acre, then I'd say we definitely need to put that in there. But seeing as they're playing the appraised rate, I just think if we do the first right of refusal, I think that would meet the criteria, in my opinion.
Thank you, Mr. Adamsack. Mr. Rawls?
I think we're setting precedents here, and which I don't have a problem with, but if somebody came in next week and said, I want to buy 15 acres at $40,000 an acre, I think Mr. Pickens has a valid point. You know, we need to do something to protect the public. This is their land. You know, the intent of that was to develop that for the best interest of the public. And, you know, I'm familiar with what he's doing. I think what he's doing is going to be good for Putnam County, bring a lot of jobs. But I think that if we had something, I don't know if a first right of refusal helps, because I don't know how durable that is. You know, if you just sat on the property for the next 10 years, it may go up in value, and then you could flip it. But I don't think the person would be any harm if we put some sort of statement in there that says that it will be developed by him and not resold. And if it is resold, it has to be sold back to us for what he paid for it.
Mr. Turner?
Well, like I said earlier, I'm gonna have to disagree with that. The man's paying full boat for it. It's not like we're giving him a break. You know, so with us paying full boat, I don't know how I feel about restricting his ability to do whatever he wants to with the property, as long as within codes and within the rules of the industrial business park area. So I guess in this particular instance, with him paying full price of the appraisal, if we were gonna sell the 15 acres to the north or west or whatever else in the business park we had, I'm assuming we'd do it the same way, go out for an appraisal. And if the people pay full boat appraisal for it at that time, I don't know that we should limit their abilities to do so. I don't see any harm at all in Commissioner Adams' suggestion that we get full first right of refusal on it. But other than that, I don't see how we could tie the man's hands. He's paying full boat for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Mr. Ross?
I think my concern is we've really never had a conversation about what our intention is with that. You know, if we're going to the business of just selling off the real estate, I don't have a problem with that. I just think right now we're setting precedents, and then, so, you know, if somebody picks up the newspaper in the morning and reads that this guy bought this for 40 grand an acre, which in my estimation is a really good deal, because I'm familiar with property that sold for a lot more than that recently. I would think that, you know, we might have people coming in here asking to buy property. If that's the case, we're setting precedents now. That's all I'm saying. So, thank you.
Mr. Pickens?
Yeah, I think a first right of refusal, I think, would be good for that.
Mr. Adams? That?
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Mr. Rawls. I want people to buy all that property. I want that property in the tax rolls. So anything we can do to make that happen, I'm for. So first right of refusal, I'll rescind my second if you want to add the first right of refusal.
I'll just amend my
Okay.
motion if that's okay with
That's
you.
fine with me, sir.
Chairman, are you ready for that?
Well, I have a comment.
Okay.
I agree with the comments that are being made up here, but I also agree with the fact that, you know, stepped out years and years ago to buy this land and hope to have developers come in and do something with it. We have that now. The first offer was very low. We went out to an appraisal, got a larger appraisal value on the land, and the gentleman has stepped up, and thank God that he did, and I'm glad that they are looking at that business park. Just want to bring to your attention, it is contingent upon being removed, though, from the PID to M1, and that would be with the city of Palaca. So I will end my comments there, Mr. Turner, if you'd like to have the...
I'd like to amend my motion to state that the county has first right of refusal upon him selling it.
Second, we have a proper motion by Commissioner Turner, proper second by Commissioner Adams-Ack. And is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. Thank you. All right, next on our agenda is Addendum 2, Administration Agreement between the Department of Army and Putnam County.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'll take that one as well. As you know, this is another step in the direction of moving forward with the Bargeport project through partnership with Putnam County and the Army Corps of Engineers. We've got through the initial 2 hurdles, and now we're looking at the funding agreement to move forward with the feasibility study for the future of the dredging as well as commercial activity at the port.
Thank you, Mr. Suggs, and I appreciate your hard work on this. This has been many, many years coming, and look forward to seeing that port out there develop into something that we can really use and to propel the citizens of Putnam County into the future. Mr. Rawls.
Can we use ARPA money for this?
Good question.
What'd you say?
Can we use ARPA?
I don't know. We heard that the other day, that,
Yeah, and I don't believe we're gonna be able to use ARPA money for this one, but it is a good thought. I wish we could. And, but we kind of had that discussion, and Mr. Sullivan's kind of vetted these projects out, and I would say that we probably just need to move forward with our coffers and not money from ARPA.
okay.
I make a motion that we move this forward.
Got a proper motion by Commissioner Rawls to move forward with staff recommendation. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. Okay.
Mr.
next-
Chairman, if I could take
You
just
may.
one point of privilege. I appreciate the process here this morning and the approval, the quick approval of this and the positive comments, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Julianne Young and Sam Sullivan's assistance in this project as well. They've done yeoman's work. I know Sam has been spearheading this project since he got here with the Army Corps and Mr. Farron. So just want to make sure that publicly I thank them as well for this opportunity. Thank you.
And just for the public's knowledge, and I agree, Mr. Suggs, that everybody's done a lot of hard work on this. Our port hasn't developed because of a few items, and one is the bridge up in Green Cove Springs is not tall enough for ships to go under that we could use. So this dredging of our port, we hope very much will bring more ships down here, more opportunities for our people to have. The bridge will be raised. If we can get the dredging done out there, that's a good thing for Putnam County. It's not going to hurt the environment whatsoever. So our footprint is growing out there, and we can see that we can see some economic development coming from that area. So I appreciate that and appreciate all the hard work that everyone's done. All right, now comes our time in our Port Authority for public comment. If you have any public comment on Port Authority business, please make your way to the.
Vote on that motion?
We did.
Okay.
We voted on it. So seeing no one rushing to the microphone for Port Authority comment, is there any other general discussion amongst the Port Authority members? Seeing none.
But,
Mr. Rawls, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
I'd like to, we need to have a conversation regarding the water system out there, hopefully at a workshop real soon. There's quite a few things I'd like to bring up, but I think workshop's gonna be the best place for it.
Okay, we'll do that. Thank you. If you'll make your presentation and we'll get that ready, we'll have that on the agenda. Okay, then we're going to end our Port Authority and go back and reconvene the Board of County Commission meeting. Under presentations, we've already done item A, and now it's item B. So J.R. Grimes and Mr. Suggs, I imagine. And Fire Chief Hutchison.
Commissioners, Administration, good morning. This morning we're here to congratulate one of our own firefighters. He was firefighter Josh Florence. He was nominated as the Volunteer Firefighter of the Year for the state of Florida. He received that award for projects that he's done inside the town of Melrose. One was starting a water rescue team. He applied for a grant, got him a small boat to where they could do rescues out on those small lakes in Melrose. He also got their emergency services siren fixed so he can, from back in the old days when he used to do the alarms, he got all that stuff back up and running for him. And has also been instrumental in starting their community paramedicine program inside the town of Melrose. So he was nominated, he was selected as the Volunteer Firefighter of the Year from the whole state of Florida. So I thought that was a great accomplishment for him. He's also one of our county employees. So. We also had the pleasure to be able to hire one of our own that came up through our volunteer fire service. Josh works for us full-time for Putnam County Fire Rescue. He works in the Melrose Fire Station. So we'd just like to congratulate Josh for all of his accomplishments that he got done this year. So we present him with a plaque from Putnam County that go with his one from the state of Florida that just congratulate him for making the Firefighter of the Year.
Congratulations. Chief, you got anything you want to add? No? Josh, it's your turn to have the microphone.
Thanks for the opportunity. I've had a lot of opportunities presented in the 8 years I've been here, met a lot of good people, and had a whole bunch of people supporting me from the back. So I couldn't have done this without them, and I appreciate it. Thanks.
Good deal. Thank you.
His shift captain's here, Captain Katie Harper. She's welcome to join us for the photo if she'd like. So she's his shift supervisor.
Congratulations. I love your smile, by the way. I know. You have the most infectious smile. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. You can come. Yeah. And I love your hair, dude. I like your hair, man.
We go to the same
Yeah, Chad.
That's funny.
Oh, he's got to go get this plaque.
Not ride a motorcycle.
Okay.
Go right ahead, sir.
Okay, I just wanted to say, he didn't want any public recognition, but when somebody does 20-plus years in our department, I still think it's fair for us to come up here and just say thank you for everything they did. He's not in attendance today, but Robert Peacock served 21 years for Putnam County Fire Rescue, and we just want to take the opportunity to say thank you. We did make him a plaque. We're going to go down and see him in Crescent City. He didn't want any public recognition, but I still think it was very, very important for us to do so. So we made him a plaque for his 21 years of service to us. He's got to have at least 40 years in Putnam County, because whenever I was a kid and started an Explorer program down there, I remember seeing Mr. Peacock as a young kid. So he's spent a lot of time with us, and we'd just like to congratulate him in his retirement.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He'll watch us on TV as we stood
We hope
to
so.
applaud him, okay?
I guess I get to keep going, right?
Yep.
Well, what a great day for us.
Yep.
Do you need to do anything for it, or just continue on?
Continue on.
All right. So the final one, if Miss Sarah Carone wants to join us, and
Yep.
Miss Gee Holder, if she doesn't mind joining us up front, please.
Her husband's here, too.
And her husband, Mark. Come on up, Mark. So we get asked to do the employee of the quarter. You know, some of them, you really got to think of a story. But with Miss Gee, you really didn't have to think of a story. I can think back to the weeks before I started working here. Miss Gee would call me on the phone, and she had absolutely everything ready for me when I got here. I mean, my computer was ready, my truck was ready. She's just that person that has all that energy. She's the person that you want working for your department. You know, there's no task I've ever asked her to do that she didn't already know the answer. You know, and if she doesn't, she's researching it. She gets out there really, really fast. I can't keep up with her. I mean, you can hear her coming down the hallway. She walks like 60 miles an hour. But she's just a great person to have around. She's always smiling. I've never seen a bad day for her. I don't want to see a bad day with her. But she's always great. And the best days when she comes back is the days after she's seen her granddaughter, because you can tell by her smile on her face. She just got back with a week on her. So, but Ms. Gee is just an absolute blessing for our department. I can't say enough good things about her. There's not enough time today. But she is just absolutely the kind of exemplary employee that our county could ever ask for. And especially our department, we're so very blessed to have her. So today we get to give her a check and a certificate for being our fourth quarter employee of the quarter. So, Ms. Gee, these are for you.
I'm sure most people know that our department has gone through some major changes in the past year, and I'm just thankful that all of those changes have made forward, positive strides ahead, and I'm very thankful for that. So I am thankful for the team that we have, because we've all worked hard to get where we're at, and I'm thankful for it.
Good deal. Thank
So
you.
thank y'all.
Okay, come down. Let's get a picture. Congratulations. you.
Congratulations.
We're going to make JR sit down for a while.
Can I make a
Thank
comment?
you. Yes, please. Commissioner Pickens.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman Harvey. I just want to thank JR. JR is probably responsible for most of the changes when we hired him on. But what we just saw in recognition of our firefighters and EMT people is the future with Josh. And young man is just full of energy. You can't wipe the smile off his face. And then with Guy's like the go-to person out at the EOC. He really is. Anything you need, I mean, she can take care of it. And then Robert Peacock. The Peacock family in South Putnam have been in the volunteer firefighter forever, I believe. Had probably 40 years, right, JR? And Alan just retired as our former, I think, fire chief or fire inspector. And then Judy was along his side as a volunteer. Robert was. And then Alan's son, John, is a career firefighter too. So it's in their blood. And just thank the Peacock family for their service to Putnam County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens. Well said. All right. Next on our agenda, Sheriff Gator Deloach, the Honorable Sheriff Gator Deloach and Colonel Joe Wells will come up, and they have some presentations for them. And this is the best part of our job. It really is.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and those in the audience. It's a pleasure to be here with you today and an honor to recognize some of our members for excellence in service. As I call your name, if you'll join me at the podium, Colonel Wells will read a brief synopsis of the exemplary service that has led to the award and will present the award. Corporal Teresa Owens.
Once we go through the citations, if our members will just remain up front, we'll get one group photo with the commissioners. Thank you. On June 27th, 2021, Corporal Owens responded to a residence just outside of Crescent City regarding multiple complaints of a suspect shooting at a residence. While responding to the scene, deputies were updated by emergency communications operators that the suspect was now at a residence threatening to shoot his ex-girlfriend and her current boyfriend. As Corporal Owens approached the residence, she observed the suspect lower his shirt, covering a firearm. The suspect hesitated for a moment, but then jumped in his vehicle and fled the scene. Corporal Owens engaged in a high-speed vehicle pursuit on the armed suspect as he presented an immediate danger to the community, specifically his ex-girlfriend. The pursuit ended when the suspect crashed near the railroad tracks on County Road 308, just outside of Crescent City. Because of damage to the vehicle, Corporal Owens was unable to open the doors of the vehicle. While Sergeant Michael Wells provided cover, Corporal Owens climbed in the still occupied vehicle to secure a firearm. Corporal Owens and Sergeant Wells were able to secure the suspect and help extricate him from the vehicle. The suspect was transported by Putnam County Fire Rescue to a hospital for treatment of his injuries resulting from the crash. Corporal Owens was able to recover a loaded tactical short-barreled shotgun in the vehicle and a loaded pistol from the suspect's pants. Had Corporal Owens not arrived when she did, it is highly likely that the suspect would have killed or seriously injured his ex-girlfriend and her current boyfriend. As a result, Corporal Owens is hereby recognized for the Sheriff's Commendation Award.
Teresa, you're hereby presented the Sheriff's Commendation Award in recognition of your meritorious service rendered above and beyond the call of duties on the 27th day of June, 2021. Your quick and decisive actions were instrumental in the apprehension of a suspect and removing the victim from a potential life-threatening emergency. Congratulations. Lieutenant Randy Hayes.
As Randy comes forward, I just think it's an opportunity for us to note that these first two significant incidents are both those of domestic violence. As we recognize October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I think these are indicators of the impact that those crimes can have on folks' lives. On March 24, 2021, deputies responded to an emergency call regarding a very volatile domestic violence situation. Communications operators were able to determine that the victim's father held her at gunpoint and took her cell phone, preventing her from calling for help. The victim was able to secretly text a friend, who then contacted the sheriff's office. When deputies arrived, they approached the residence and were able to contact the victim, who signaled to them that she was in fact in danger. The deputies were able to quickly surround the victim, protecting her, and escorted her to safety. Simultaneously, the suspect, who was still armed, yelled, "There is no fixing this," and retreated into the residence while armed. The deputies were able to determine that the suspect was in crisis and armed while barricaded in the home. The crisis intervention and SWAT teams were summoned to the scene, while area residents were evacuated from their homes for safety. For the next several hours, crisis intervention team members negotiated and worked to calm the volatile suspect. Through their patient expertise and professionalism, the crisis intervention team were able to gain the compliance of the suspect, who relinquished the weapon and exited the home peacefully. Our crisis intervention experts are often the quiet heroes of the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, and this incident is just another example of the extraordinarily dangerous situation brought to a peaceful resolution through their hard work, tedious training, and dedication to the mission. For his very important role in this incident, now Lieutenant Randy Hayes is hereby awarded the Sheriff's Achievement Medal. Other PCSO members were involved in this incident were previously awarded, but Lieutenant Hayes was unable to attend that ceremony. Lieutenant Randy Hayes.
Lieutenant Hayes, you are hereby awarded the Sheriff's Achievement Medal in recognition of performing your duties with diligence and excellence. Your actions on March 24th, 2021 were instrumental in leading to a peaceful surrender, providing a safe outcome for your fellow deputies and the residents of Putnam County. Congratulations. Thanks, sir. Deputy Philip John.
On June of 2021, the Putnam County Sheriff's Office detectives obtained a video footage from an armed robbery at 1205 State Road 19, but were unable to identify the suspect in the video. The assigned detective provided the still photos from the video to our patrol deputies, seeking assistance in locating the suspect. The following day, another armed robbery took place in the city of Palaca involving the same suspect. While on patrol almost a month later, Deputy Philip John spotted a vehicle that matched the description of the one used in both robberies. Further investigation revealed that Deputy John had in fact stopped the correct vehicle and identified the robbery suspect. Because of Deputy John's attention to detail and dedication to the safety of our residents, this pattern of armed robberies to businesses in the city of Palaca and the county was resolved with the arrest of the suspect in multiple cases. As a result, Deputy Philip John is hereby awarded the Sheriff's Achievement Medal.
Philip, in recognition of performing your duties with diligence and excellence, your actions on July 21st, 2021 were instrumental in the arrest of a suspect for multiple robberies in Putnam County, thereby removing this threat from the community, and you're hereby awarded the Sheriff's Achievement Medal. Congratulations. Deputy David Fisk.
On October the 1st, 2021, Deputy David Fisk conducted a follow-up investigation regarding two young girls who had been reported as runaways by the Palaca Police Department. During the follow-up investigation, Deputy Fisk made contact with one of the parents and was shown photographs of her missing daughter. Deputy Fisk continued searching for the missing girls at a residence of an acquaintance, but no contact was made. A short time later, Deputy Fisk noticed a suspicious vehicle in the area. As the vehicle attempted to pull away, Deputy Fisk shined his flashlight inside the vehicle and recognized a young girl from the photo shown by the missing parent. Deputy Fisk was able to conduct a traffic stop on the vehicle and located 2 missing girls who were ages 15 and 16. Deputy Fisk then discovered that the adult male driver was a registered sex offender for previous sex crimes on children of this age. The girls were reunited with their parents, and the adult male was eventually arrested and charged with interference with child custody, DUI, driving on a revoked driver's license, and possession of methamphetamine. Deputy Fisk's investigation and keen observation skills resulted in 2 young girls being rescued from a potentially dangerous situation. Without Deputy Fisk's intervention, it is likely that these 2 young girls would have been victimized by a known sex offender. Deputy Fisk's actions reflect the selfless dedication of the members of the Putnam County Sheriff's Office and our profession as a whole. Deputy Fisk is therefore awarded again the Sheriff's Achievement Medal.
David, in recognition of your meritorious service rendered on October 1st, 2021, your investigative and keen observation skills resulted in 2 young girls being rescued from a potentially dangerous situation. Your actions reflect selfless dedication to the residents of Putnam County, and you're hereby awarded the Sheriff's Achievement Medal. Congratulations.
JR's not in this picture.
Yeah, we'll be able to see.
He's pretty tall, too.
Mary Rich was just talking about you, Mr. Hayes.
All that, I hope so.
No, she said she remembers you in 7th grade, she said. Good to have Allison getting us all. No doubt. Are we okay up here?
There's never a doubt who's in charge when Allison is around.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Almost wore my heels.
Sure, I can. Whatever you tell me.
That wasn't a suggestion, you do know that, right?
All right, and here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Good deal.
Allison, Chairman Harvey has asked that after we did the group photo, we would allow their families to come up.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, bring your, yeah.
Your family. I know. You got it.
Hey, little guy.
He's out. You need to be in the paper, buddy.
You want my gavel?
You're gonna be famous.
Okay. We got it? Can y'all, then do?
No, they're good.
Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hey, bud. Hey. All right.
Good deal. Congratulations. All right. Thank you for all that. Seriously.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
man.
Really great job. Hello. How are you doing? Good. Good deal. All right. Congratulations.
Reese is in the right spot, then slide all the way. The one time I'm gonna tell you guys get to turn the camera. There you go. And here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Good job. Did Randy run out?
He didn't have anyone here. Mr. Chairman, this concludes our awards and recognitions for the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff, and it's just a wonderful time that we can honor those who give up their families and their life to protect us, and we appreciate all their hard work. It's just a great part of being a county commission, seeing our talent that's out there. We have some great people. Next on our agenda is our public comment on agenda items. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to come and speak about public comments on agenda items only? There will be time at the end of the meeting for public comment on miscellaneous items. And we do ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. And seeing no one run to the podium, we'll dismiss that part of our meeting and go to the consent agenda. I'll start on my far right, Commissioner Adamczak. Is there any items you'd like to pull?
It's item D.
I'm sorry?
D, like dog.
D is dog. Okay, Mr. Turner?
I have none.
Okay, sir. Mr. Pickens?
I have none.
And Mr. Rawls?
Item A, just for discussion.
Item what?
A, as in
A.
alpha.
Okay. The chair will entertain a motion on the remaining items.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve items B, C, E, F, G, and H.
Okay. We've got a proper motion by Commissioner Turner, proper second by Commissioner Adamczak. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Mr. Adamczak, you started it off, so item D is yours.
I just had a question around for the MSBU's now. Did these all meet the allotted money that they, because I think we had a discussion where each MSBU had a certain amount of money allotted for the year, and this kind of, the bidding process went out afterwards a little bit. So did these meet the allotments from those MSBU's? Or do we have to go ask, I mean, I don't think there's a way that we can tax them more or get more money. So how are we handling that if they didn't?
So what happens in basically what we're going to call a transition year is the MSBU contracted rates will now be good for a series of years as per the contract terms. This year, we will do the work allowable within the revenue dollars that are generated by each MSBU. Next year, we will set a level of service expectation and then address the fee schedule based on what the service's outcome is going to be. So this year, the cost of basic services did not increase greatly, so you're likely going to see about the same level of service that you've seen in the previous years. However, again, with the MSBU roads, we output what we bring in. So revenue is going to equal the expenditures that we're going to spend for those MSBUs.
Then my other question, thank you for that, is around one of the contractors I don't think is local, the one that I recognize most of the names, does local preference apply here, or?
It did apply. Our ordinance has a period of time in which enacts the local preference option. It's an option to exercise your local preference. So yes, local preference applies in our county to anything that doesn't involve state or federal funds. So every project that's bid out qualifies for local preference as long as state or federal funds are not utilized. So local preference did apply. We did not have a local utilize their option to exercise, and I'm also not sure it met the criteria.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Adamczak would like to make, oh, Mr. Turner, I'm sorry.
Well, which one of these weren't local?
I don't think maybe they do have a local office.
Who was that?
Hassel.
Are they local,
They're
Hassel?
out of Jacksonville, I think.
Gainesville, I think.
I'm not I don't believe that they are local at this time. I know they're doing work locally, but I don't believe that they qualify as a defined local vendor.
Just a small question.
Mr. Adamczak would like to make a motion.
I make a motion that we accept item D.
Okay, we have proper motion by Commissioner Adamczak, proper second by Commissioner Turner. Any further discussion on that motion?
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Rawls.
Onyx, are they the ones that were previously doing St. John's River Harbor?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Onyx site?
Okay.
Are they
What
the
was the
ones
question?
what?
Were they the ones that were previously doing that?
No,
St. John's?
No.
No, these
Okay.
are all new contracts.
They're all new, okay.
Oh, good. I
I'm
thought I
good.
understood that.
Okay, Mr. Rawls?
I'm good.
Would you like to make a motion? Oh, I'm sorry,
already
we
have
already
a
did that.
Yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, the ayes have it. Got a little confused
Had a
there.
long day.
Apologize for that. Commissioner Rawls, you have the next item, item A.
I just, I wanted to see if we can get a breakdown of the reimbursement. I've got people ask me questions about the $7 million, and my answer is, I know it's reimbursement for monies that we expended during COVID and some other stuff, but just like to see if we can get a breakdown of that.
You mean like category?
Oh, we spent $7 million. It'd be nice to know where it went.
I agree.
I don't have an answer for him yet, but I need to get it.
Okay, Mr. Rawls, would you like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve item A, Administrative CARES Act closeout.
I'll second.
Proper motion by Commissioner Rawls, proper second by Commissioner Pickens. Any further discussion on this motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, the ayes have it. Next on our agenda is on codes enforcement, fine reduction. Mr. Moore, you have that? Page 116 in your packet.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, sir. Go right
The
ahead.
address is 124 Frandy Drive. And the property owners are Jeremy and Barbara Baker, and violation was primitive camping and care premises. The original fine amount was $10,443.50, and the total cost of enforcement action is $1,303. The property was recently purchased, and the property is now compliant, and the owner is requesting a fine reduction. If the board approves, we recommend the reduced fine to be paid within 90 days.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. The bakers here in the audience, the ones that'd like to speak. Would you like to come up and speak? Okay. That's your prerogative. That's fine. Commissioners, you've heard the case. What's your pleasure? Mr. Turner?
Mr. Chairman, keeping the same as we've done in the past, we've taken the amount that was recommended and deducted the administrative monthly from it. So I move that we settle this case for $1,063 and it be paid within 90 days.
Second.
Proper motion by Commissioner Turner. The fine would be $1,063 if paid in 90 days. Second by Commissioner Adamczak. Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. Thank you all for doing what you did in cleaning that property up. We greatly appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moore. Next on our agenda, Clerk of the Court, Mr. Reynolds, but that would be Susan.
Mr. Reynolds is at a conference. We don't have anything.
You don't have anything? Okay, good. Okay, next item is appointments. I'll start to my far left, Mr. Rawls.
I have none.
Mr. Pickens.
I have none.
Mr. Turner.
Has anybody contacted Mayor Hill about possibly serving again on his at-large position of the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee?
I did.
Did he say he would?
Yes, he did.
Okay, well, I nominate him to take another term on that then.
I'd ask him to reach out.
Proper motion by Commissioner Turner. Do we have a second on that?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Rawls. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I have nothing additional, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Adamczak?
I have nothing at this time.
And I have nothing, but I'm almost close to getting my zoning board of adjustment one done. So I'm so excited about that. Hey, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. County Administrator, Mr. Terry Suggs.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Again, just real quickly, a couple comments. Again, really do appreciate the support on the Bargeport project. I think that's going to be hopefully a great economic driver for Putnam County. See the worth in that and the value in that. And also just want to say, I want to echo a little bit of what's going on here today. You saw the public recognitions from our fire department this morning, our public safety folks, as well as the sheriff's office. And what a great opportunity it is to see those folks recognized. And to see Miss Stella come up here and thank everybody for their passion and their care that they showed during a very difficult time for Miss Stella. And the fact that her staff stepped up and did what they did for her to allow her the opportunity to heal as well. That's what we're all about here. I got to tell you, it's an absolute pleasure to work with U5 and with the staff that we have. And in this community, it makes getting up and coming to work a whole lot easier every day. And so With that said, I just want to say what a great place to be. Putnam County's got a lot going on, and we're moving forward, but we're doing it, I believe, in the right way. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very good comment, sir. Thank you. Mr. Commando? No report today. All right. Commissioner comments, I'll start on my far right. Mr. Adamsack?
I appreciate all the pink. My mother herself battled breast cancer, and cancer is eventually what did get her a few years ago. So it's very close to me and something I think about regularly. My sister also recovered from it, so that's a good thing. I was just talking to a lady in the audience. My sister just bought a house near where she has a house in upstate New York. So that's pretty exciting for her to get past that and to move forward with their life. As far as the fire EMS and the sheriff's people, I mean, one thing I love about this community is the support that I see for both organizations from the people that live here. You see people picking up tabs at restaurants and things like that, whether that's right or wrong, I don't care. That's great that I see that all the time. And, you know, usually people don't ask for recognition when they do it. You see them just do it. And there's been times where I try to do it and someone else in the restaurant already did it. So that's kind of really cool to see that. And I really appreciate the work that both of those groups do in our county and our community. I am so pleasured to be with this board that we're not looking to outsource our police department to be, you know, social workers and that type of thing. It's great to bring them in after the situation is settled. It is not proper to lead with that. I will never in my life get to the point where I believe that's the case. So I appreciate everything you guys do in getting situations settled and then allowing the proper people to come in when the time is. And I know you guys work close with several organizations in the community in that effect. As far as the biosolids thing, I think we need to put that back on the workshop to discuss the proclamation thing that goes around. I don't know what a proclamation does. I mean, we could do one, but I think that's just I've never been a big supporter of proclamations, so I'm not going to be the one that pushes for that. I know some towns did it. That's great, but it really doesn't do anything about the fact that biosolids are coming. It just says, hey, we don't support it. All of us have said from this dais that we don't support it, in that location especially. As far as other parts of it that we have some more discussion we need to probably have. I'd like to see that put on an agenda for the next workshop if possible, if we can get commitment to that. And what I would like to discuss is allowing use in certain areas of the county, and get a little more specific about it. And then, you know, obviously allowing A and AA as it stands. So that would be the idea that I would present, and I'd like to see if we can get that on the next agenda for a workshop.
You have a request by the commissioner to put biosolids on the next workshop agenda? Do we have consensus to do so?
Yes.
Okay. We have
And I'm going to
consensus?
get with staff to see where we think the best location is to allow for it.
Okay, we will make that happen. Now I'm going to jump over to my far, are you done, Mr. Adams?
Yes, sir.
Jump over to my far left, Mr. Rawls.
I'll let you continue for just a second on the biosolids. Well, if we could get the data that we requested about what we already have as far as they're loading now. So we talked several times in the past about seeing what we've got countywide with our septic, our sewer, biosolids that are currently being dumped, and where our current sites are, have all that before the workshop. That'd be helpful. And I agreed, you know, resolution's a resolution, but it doesn't have any teeth. We need to figure out how to get teeth, because I'm seeing the same emails that everybody else is seeing. There's a lot of concern, not just from the people that live adjacent to that property, but you know, that movement's spread out quite large, and I personally have share the same anxiety they do. So,
Mr. Rawls, I think Mr. Suggs had a question for you.
No, not a question, just Commissioner Rawls, if you'd like, if we could set some time up, I'd like to sit down with our planning folks just to make sure that we're able to get you exactly what it is you're looking for. So anytime your schedule's available, let us know. We'll schedule some time to sit down and start getting that information you're requesting gathered up.
I think it would have to come from the health department, because they know what we have as far as permits that are active right now for on-site waste.
Well, then yeah, as long as we know exactly what you're asking, we'll sit down with the health department, and we can make that appointment
What
as
I'm
well.
basically trying to get to is find out what we currently produce ourselves. You know, we've got plus or minus 39,000 homes in the rural areas and in the incorporated areas and unincorporated. So we need to figure out, you know, what does the city of Palatka generate? What does Crescent City and Interlaken generate? And all these small package systems that we have. So we may be, you know, at a point where we don't want to introduce more biosolids and slow things down, but without the information, we can't make an informed decision.
So if we can schedule some time to sit down, I'll pull the team together that needs to be a part of that conversation. That way we can get all the information gathered up for you.
Okay.
You have the floor?
Yep. Otherwise, really don't have, I was going to bring up the biosolids because I've responded to quite a few emails over the past few weeks, a lot of emails. And you know, they're starting to get frustrated. They think that we're sitting on our hands doing nothing. And, you know, I had to respond back to one gentleman and told him, you know, he said, you know, we vote, you might lose thousands of votes because of this. And I said, if that's the case, so be it. I wasn't looking for a job when I found this one. So, you know, if he wants to come in here and try to do a better job, but I do think that we need to put something out there that's meaningful and make it a final decision and put this thing to bed because there's just all sorts of erroneous information out there. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, I think we've tried to explain the process as best we could from our point of view, but we are the closest thing to government that people have. We are government, and we're the closest ones that they can see every day at the grocery store and want us to do something. But we do have a process, so thank you, Mr. Rawls. Mr. Pickens.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman Harvey. And then to address the biosolids, I agree. It should be on another workshop where we can try to, you know, put something together to kind of control this or stop it in certain areas. And I've received that email too, and my letter will be finished today in my opposition of dumping biosolids in that particular location. So I'll have mine done today. I do want to just thank JR and his staff. It was great to recognize some of our employees for outstanding service, and also with the Sheriff's Department for outstanding service. It's great when we are able to do that. We have such great employees throughout the county, and we're just blessed to have everybody. And also with the Pink Out Putnam for breast cancer awareness. I did not put my pink, whatever that stuff is, my water, but anyway, we appreciate that.
Have an extra one if you want.
So, and I also want to just mention that the 28th annual Swine and Wine sponsored by the Crescent City Rotary Club was held October 2nd at Crescent Lake Farms in Crescent City. And I just want to thank Commissioner Larry Harvey for doing all the cooking and all the work that he did for that event. And former County Commissioner Buddy Goddard, who's the president of the Interlochen Rotary Club, and also Brenda Bridges, president of the Sunrise Rotary Club, and all their members that came down. Also, the Plaquemine Club had many members help us pull this off. But I want to thank Commissioner Jeff Rawls. He was also there. He's a member of the Breakfast Club, Sunrise Club, and his wife, Dawn. And it's really refreshing for me because we did this with our children. But Dawn and Jeff bring Liam, I think he's 7 years old. Just turned 8, and they've been bringing him to events to help volunteer since he was out of diapers. And he's 8 years old, and he was a tremendous help. Very, very intelligent young man, but I just appreciate all everybody's help and y'all showing Liam what it's all about to give back to the community. We should raise about $18,000 to fund our scholarship and youth sports, so I just want to thank everybody for a really successful event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about Public Works a minute. It's refreshing to me. I don't know about y'all's districts, but I've been in some of them, and it looks to me like now that the grass has slowed down just a touch, we're starting to try to catch up some. So that's good to see. I still want to challenge that we come up with a better mowing plan for next year to where we don't get as far behind as we did this year, to where we have to go into November to finish catching up. I'd like to try to see that happen. The road to pave list is already out, have been out for bid for 2021 and 2022, no, 2021. And so that's pretty good because a lot of times it's a lot later than this before we get around to it. So I'm kudos to everybody for getting that out a little earlier this year. The resurfacing list has already been out and been approved, I think, and so we can start on the resurfacing portion of the roads also. The East Placa Drainage Project, I guess I'm sounding like Miss Young with an update on different projects, but the East Placa Drainage Project, I'm assuming is getting close again. The phase 1 and 2 are already being worked on, I believe, and so we're into phase 3 here pretty quick, and we can probably try to fix some of those eels. I also want to take this opportunity to say that it's my understanding that City Serve in the building department is getting real close. It's been a 2-year hard work, a lot of work and hard process, but I think they're getting pretty close now. So thanks, Mr. Siafi, for getting us close on that one, and IT for helping him out. I just wanted to say that also join in with Commissioner Pickens' comments on the, it's nice to see that the employees of the Sheriff's Department and the emergency services are being recognized for their contribution to the county. I'm really glad to see that. And with that, Mr. Chairman, that's all I have today.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. And I have a few items. I do want to join the sentiment of the biosolid conversation. Don't think that's the proper location for it, and I don't know if there is a proper location with the amount of what I see as far as development coming in, and how much more can we stand as a high water recharge area. So this commissioner is against outside people coming in here and dumping biosolids. Next on my thing is I appreciate staff jumping in at the last moment at my thought of cancer. Breast cancer awareness is on all of us, and we see very clearly that our First Lady of Florida is going through that battle now. It brought to mind that my mother started a battle when she was 30 years old, and she died at 32, leaving 2 small children behind. I was 9 years old, and that was my first experience with cancer, and it was traumatic at that time. But we all can sit here and tell those stories. But one day I'll be glad to hear, if we can ever hear it, that cancer has been eradicated from our life and no more of that. It's a terrible disease, and we're praying for our First Lady, praying for everybody who's affected, and that's why this place is pinked out today. And I just thank our staff for all the hard work in pulling that together. If you're looking for a Christmas tree, the Interlaken FFA is getting Christmas trees, live Christmas trees from, well, they're not live once they cut them, so, but they're getting Christmas trees from the North Carolina mountains. They'll be here just before Thanksgiving, which my wife is so excited about, that the tree will be up for Thanksgiving. It's a very important time in our life, and my job is to bring the decorations in and then go hunting and get out of the way. Come home to a freshly decorated house. So I try to help, but I put the star on the tree. That's what I do. That's the only part I do. But it's very important for our family, and this time our family's coming over for Thanksgiving. So if you want your tree up before Thanksgiving, let me know, or go contact Interlaken FFA at the high school, and they will sell you a tree. And I also want to let you know that the Flora Home Festival is this coming Saturday. They're going to be selling pork butts and chicken dinners and raising money for their projects. And if you don't know, there's 4 parks in Flora Home there on 100. And they have a great group of people and volunteers that have done a tremendous job in those 4 corners. And currently, they are restoring the clubhouse that is owned by the county as a clubhouse, and they're going to be using that. And it's a really, really neat undertaking that they've been involved in. So if you want to go out this week, I will be cooking the barbecue, and I think Mr. Killebrew is volunteered to help. That's what I got an email on the other day. So thank you, Mr. Killebrew, for whatever participation you'll be.
Does that look mean you just put him on the spot?
I think it does, but that's kind of what I wanted to do.
You just volunteered, Ed?
No, I really actually got an email, so thank you. He'll have to take that up with the email sender at that point. But it's okay. It's okay. Don't fall out. JR's right beside you if you're going to faint, okay? Okay, good deal. Thank you for all you do, too. And this ends my comments. Now we'll go to the public comment on miscellaneous items. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of this board. It is not reasonable to expect that the board will engage in debate or deliberations about matters on which the board has received no prior information as part of this agenda. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Public comment cards are conveniently located in the back of the room, but you don't have to have a card. And if you run over your 3-minute time period, the trap door will not open and will not send you down to the room below. So you're okay. You're here amongst friends, and we ask that you be respectful, and we'll be respectful to you at the same time. Okay. Our first public speaking card is Miss Sue Holland, a good friend of ours and comes often and represents her community well. And we all know her and we all have her on speed dial. So, I think, right? I do.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you. Give me those
Did I do okay
3 minutes. Yes, sir.
introducing?
Thank you. I appreciate you calling me after your vacation as well. As we all know, tomorrow's not promised. Back in 2015, we were told our roads were going to be paved. I know that you say there's a list out. There's no promise. There's no guarantee. I'm looking to find out, are you paving our roads? Is the county paving our roads? Have we paid enough money yet to pave these roads? So as you know, they are here
Let your
to find
your
out.
commissioner answer that question.
Sure.
I told you 3 times now that that road is on next year's pave list.
We haven't
3
seen the
times.
list. We haven't seen the
I can't
list.
promise you anything more than that. You want me to cut my hand and promise in blood? I'm telling you, I can't promise more than it's on the pave list. It's on the pave list.
So
for
I was
next
on the
year.
site and I can't find any pave lifts for 2022. Printed out everything else that I could find on what we've been told. And I know when it was all surveyed and the St. John's Water Management was asked to put a retention pond in, it came up to be about a little over $2 million. And they said, no, let's come up with another plan. So that was where we came up with the septic tank to sewer project that I endorsed to the neighborhood, increasing our values. Everybody just recently got another letter saying they're starting on September 30th. We haven't seen the first truck. So, again, I know tomorrow's not promised. I'm just trying to find out, when is this actually going to happen?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Best
gentlemen.
I can tell you, it's on next year's pave list.
Can we get a copy of the list?
Yes, Mr. Troxel, see that man right back
I
there in
know
the
who he
blue
is, yes, sir.
shirt?
I know he is, thank you.
Okay, would you get with him?
Sure.
Would you please give her a copy of the 21 pave list showing that, please?
Thank you.
Let me say this.
Yes, sir.
We've all heard,
I
we've
know.
all wanted, I was here when the first projects down there were made. We understand the river rising in that area too. We all understand that, and we all, I mean, I grew up in this area, so I remember that as a little boy down there. A retention pond, you have one. It's called the St. Johns River.
Absolutely.
And, you know, to build something else down there, I don't know. Unfortunately, your area is not any different than any other area in Putnam County, where every developer sold every lot, not thinking a thing about drainage and not thinking a thing about, you know, the river rising and areas like that. And we've had problems down there. But I think we got some really good solutions coming, and Mr. Turner's worked very hard for that area, and I think we're going to have a lot of happy people, hopefully soon. So
I hope so. With age comes wisdom.
I get it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Scott Martin. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm Scott Martin, 131 Creekside. Have to follow Sue there. So I'm just here in support of Creekside Road, which we're still a little bit uncertain as to where we fall on the list. We hear.
Actually, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Creekside is not on next year's paving list. Paradise Point, Circle, and Fisherman's Road. But we did vote and look at a meeting that we look for it to come in a little under, and we're trying to put Creekside and the other one.
Edgewater.
The other one, that way that
Right.
area will be done. So we're trying to get that put on the next list, Creekside and the other road, and we'll be done in there.
That's right.
So the ones that are actually on.
And I think that's why I was
Paradise
interested
and
in
the other one, yeah.
being here. How can we, if any way, help facilitate that process? You know, we realize we're not on this next list according to the list that we have not yet seen, but we hope to see shortly. And if there are any other options for us beyond that, as far as raising funds privately and whatever. So, I'd already talked to Mr.
Do you need a pen?
No. So anyway, I just hear in support of finishing the project in that entire area. I realize we're thankful to get the 2 or 3 roads done, but there are 2 more there, and would hope that it would be considered with the cost and labor and material and whatever to have those people out there, and then to bring them back out there the next year would be considered, especially if there's going to be any kind of cost increase or whatever. Is it feasible, and can we as a community help that process privately? If so, we'll go to work. We'll try to find the money. We've done it before in North Carolina where I was from. We put in a water project, spent $100,000, raised the money privately, got it done. So if we can help, I'd like to know how we can help. And Mr. I'm sorry, Adam Zach was nice prior to the meeting to afford me the opportunity to talk with him. I also talked with you. I think I'm actually in your district, Mr. Turner, on the north side of the river there. So anyway, I appreciate it. We're just here trying to get our community improved so that we can continue to improve it ourselves.
You got a great voice for radio.
Thank you. Yeah, I can face for it too, I understand.
Yeah.
All we talked about was the potential of paving MSBU if it didn't get on the list.
Sure. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Brian Hilgus, is that right? Hilgus.
Edgewater Road there. I'm backing them guys.
You got to speak in. Okay, got to speak in that microphone, please.
I don't want to do that, but anyways.
It's public record, and they're watching you on TV right now.
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
They usually watch me go up and down the road and threaten people because of the road, because it's flooded, and we got people that like to go sightseeing with their 4-wheel drive vehicles when the water's up in people's houses, and I have took my gun and my tractor and sat at the end of the road with the sheriff's department knowing about it. But my thing is, and you guys have heard this before, last year when we had this meeting, I own 118, 120, and 122 Edgewater. Okay? My deal is I've lived down there for going on 34 years. Been promised we're going to get a paved road. We're going to get a paved road. Well, unfortunately, there's 2 people this year from the last meeting that's never going to see it because they're deceased that were promised they're going to get a paved road. My deal is you can go back, check my back taxes. Is there any time ever that my taxes were not paid? If you can find it, I'd like to see it.
You realize that property taxes don't pave roads.
That's fine and dandy, but they pay other taxes.
They don't pave roads.
So sewer system, like Sue said, an email went out, all the material is sitting on site. Where's the workers?
It's coming.
I work extra. I got a side job. I'll work nights, evenings, weekends. It don't matter to me. I like to work. Plus I work a 40-hour job. But we need to get something done down in that area. If we're not going to get it paved, what are we going to do about fixing the roads? Lime rock, cut the shoulders down. If this is the road down here and this is the shoulder and this is the ditch, this ain't going to drain. It don't take a rocket scientist. But guess what? Mine drains because I took care of it myself. And I'm proud to say it. And I know that, yes, I could get in trouble for using my personal tractor on county roads, but guess what? My road drains. Everybody comes to me and asks me, hey, can you do that in front of my house? No, I can't. But I do it in front of my house and the roads drain and the ditches drain. Another thing, Horse Landing Road. It rains out. You guys have to, not you guys, but they have to go out road underwater, just past the Handyway. Why? Because every ditch in that area is full of dirt. Every culvert is plugged. Last year you said you're going to get a vac truck. I know how to run one. Seminol's got several of them. We need to get the ditches cleaned so the roads will drain. And Terry, I know you're trying. You have done it down in our area. You cleaned them. No, they didn't have a vac truck to clean the culverts out, Paradise Circle. But we need to try to get something down there to help the drainage. And I know we're not the only ones in Putnam County that have this issue. I mean, I know that, but we got to get something done. And I mean, I voted for you. And I'll tell you that to your face, and I know my time's up, but.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
But anyways.
Thank you. Mr. Rawls?
Sir, before you sit down, sir, I appreciate everything you're saying. You're correct. And your situation is not unique to yourself. At Putnam County, we have this issue everywhere. One of the things that I've asked this commission to consider, and maybe you could help me out here, is to consider a countywide MSBU for drainage. That would help alleviate some of the strain that's on the current general fund, and we might be able to come up with money to be able to take on projects like paving the roads like over at Horse Landing area, because they're going to be even more of a challenge than you guys have. That whole area is low, but we got the same problem in Bostwick. We have the same problem down in the Georgetown area. We've got drainage issues all over the county, and there is really no money to be able to move forward as far as going in and paving a lot of roads at a time. We just don't have the money. And as we pave, we have to go back and maintain periodically as well. So,
And I understand what you're saying. My thing is, and I'm not blaming nobody
Sir,
up here.
hang on just a minute. Mr. Turner has a comment. Are you done, Mr. Roll?
what we're going to say is, as we move forward and we become more and more fuel efficient with our vehicles, we're going to pay less and less gas taxes. That's going to be problematic for us as well. So we need input from the citizens as well, at least this commissioner does, in order to help us dig our way out of this hole, because our millage rate is almost maxed out. I voted against lowering the millage rate because I thought that we could use the extra money to be able to more fully fund our employees that we have that are really stressed and strained as it is. But going forward, we're going to need more money in this county, and it's not going to come from ad valorem assessment, unfortunately. So maybe you could help carry that torch.
Thank you, Mr. Roll. Mr. Turner?
Well, I'm not for a countywide MSBU because I don't believe that the people in Interlochen or in San Mateo should pay additional taxes on their property to fix a ditch in a Flora home. Yeah, it is frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating to me, very much so, because I come from private industry where we get things done in 30 days to where we're damn lucky to get something done in 30 years. So, yes, it is frustrating to us as well, sitting up here at this bench, but I'm not for raising your taxes again on an additional tax for a MSBU for countywide. We tried the MSBU in your area. We tried it, and it failed because the people there did not want to pay the additional taxes. So I've worked very diligently in the last 3 years. What was that?
Your microphone is leaving you.
Do what? What do you mean it's leaving me?
It's messing up. Use mine.
Okay.
Shorten out.
Well, I know that it's aggravating, but I'm trying not to take this. I'm trying not to take this opportunity to try to political size something that has nothing to do with what we're actually talking about. We have started working around on Paradise Circle already, around the end from you down there, and we're trying to get Edgewater and we're trying to get Creekside on the list as soon as possible, because we want them done. Believe me, we want them done. I love every one of you, but I don't love hearing from you after every time it rains, I promise you. So we're trying to get it done. We are. And I think we're moving in that direction, and we're going to get it done. I believe we will. If something bad doesn't happen, we'll have the two main roads, which are the most expense, done by the end of next year on the 2022 pave list. So there we
Yeah,
go.
and that's the thing about it, Terry. Like I said, I've been there 33 years. Paradise Circle, check it out and see how many people has moved in there in the last 3 to 5 years. And boy, they got brand new paved road. That's nice.
Thank you, sir.
And they
Thank
didn't
you.
pay taxes on.
Well,
What?
thank you for coming. Okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak on public comment? Please come up.
Hello. My name's Chuck Hewlett. I live on Paradise Point Road. Actually, I live on Paradise Point Road. My address is Paradise Circle. Haven't figured that out yet, but that's the way it is. I've only been there 11 years. I've got an article here that's got to be at least a year old, but it states right here, says, we were on the roads, dirt roads to paved roads list in 2016. Right here. That was, I don't know, 5 years ago with my math. And sorry, I'm a little nervous. Later, a little further on in this article, it says, and I quote, could be completed at the end of the fiscal year, which is September the 30th of 2021. Mr. Traxel said that. Could be completed. 2 months ago, I was here. I didn't speak, but I listened to you folks say, it fell through the cracks. It keeps falling through the cracks. Terry, wait a minute, please.
It did not fall through the cracks.
I was told
It
that.
didn't,
I
well,
heard
it didn't fall through the cracks. What it did, it got removed because they were putting sewer and water. I wasn't here then, but they removed the paving of the road to put sewer and water in. Would y'all turn his machine off for just a second, please, his timer, because I'm talking. And so, it was not fell between the cracks that was before I ever got here. But as soon as the water and sewer got put in and the main trunk lines put in, we went straight back to trying to get it put back on the paved list again. And so the government takes some time, I'm just telling you. I know it's aggravating, but it takes time. It's taken me 3 years to get it back on the paved list. It's on next year's paved list, those 2 roads, I'm just telling you. Now, the only way it's coming off is if something weird happens, like we don't have the money or this board votes to take it off the pave list. But as of right now, it is on the approved 22 pave list, Fisherman's Drive and Paradise Point and Circle. All right, sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine, Mr.
It's
Hewitt.
okay, I don't mind. Again, somebody up there said it fell through the cracks. Literally said those words. It keeps falling through the cracks. When we had the flooding and you came up and Mr. Harvey held up this huge check and said, we got all this money, but we're now going to take care of the problem of the sewage going in the river, and we're going to fix that first, and we're going to go to sewers. Sewers. I was in agree with that. I'm just like Sue. Everybody down there said that's fine. It makes sense to do that first. Don't pave it. You said, don't pave it and then tear it up again. Everybody agreed. Sewers in. Man said we'd be done by September 30th of 2021. It's not done. We keep hearing the same thing. You got mad at Sue because you told her you keep telling her it. But you keep telling her it and nothing gets done. It's all rhetoric.
Right.
How about we have a little something done and a little less rhetoric?
Let's not point fingers. We are working very difficult at this difficult problem. And flooding is an issue down there. And you know that to be true. So
I live there, I know it.
We appreciate you coming today and thank you for your comments, okay?
Okay, sure.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? All right, thank you. I'm going to close the public portion of this meeting. Mr. Grimes, you have a final comment that you'd like to make?
Yes, sir. Thank you for allowing me to come up and speak again. I just want to know, I hate to say with the spirit of cancer, but we have one of our own that has been diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. She's a second-generation firefighter that's worked for Putnam County, and they're doing a fundraiser for her. All proceeds are going to her Saturday. They're doing a chicken dinner. The local firefighter union at the city of Palatka teamed up with the local union from the Putnam County firefighters. They're selling tickets for $12. I have them, or any of the locals have them. Any of the members of the fire departments have them. It's going to be Saturday from 10 to 3 at the EOC. You can pick them up, and they just want us to get that mentioned to you guys today. But if you would, just keep Ms. Brooke Bateman in your thoughts and prayers because she is going through chemotherapy at this time. So, and you know, just to give a spirit of the employee, it came time for time donation because she'd only worked for us about 2 years. That she's said that the doctors have told her she's going to have to miss 7 months of work. I signed enough transfers to transfer 7 months at a time from our employees. So that was fantastic. So we look forward to getting her back in about 4 months. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. Don't go too far. I want to get tickets from you. Okay?
I've got them in my truck.
Thank you. Is there anything else good for the order? We have a meeting at 2 o'clock. This meeting is ended.